this. Look at yourself bumping to the beat. Get up and get down with a G-twist. Forget the hater cause the fool's not on the list. Dig this, we came and we took over. Got the keys to the ride and we're not sober. We made an oath that we ain't gonna ride for you. So now it's hip-hop, ride us to the border. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. That's why they call me huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. They're taking over my head, dog, they on a hustle. I'm taking over their bread, dog, I'm on a muscle. Try to be cool, but I gotta mumble. Better yet, after that, there's a big tussle. Quit them tears, boy. Dry your eyes, see the G going cheers, boy. Don't be mad, cause I say that you weird, boy. You kinda scared, so I see that fear, boy. Meditating on a cute shorty. Lean body, mean thighs like the chick bought it. Eyes set real tight like they all assorted. If she arresting my ass, then she got a warrant. I'm a legend in the living, and that's that. I grab objects of vices you can't touch. Read all comprehension is too much. Unawares these words that bring the wrath. Let's go. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Glad that you stopped by. Who are you? What's your business? Bye-bye. I hate people that think that I'm on a rise. Yet and still I'm the steel that will not fly. Ask why? I got this even better. On this planet I teach you before the chatter. What I compose gets better by the day's weather. That's why they call me Chris through the cantata. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Huni nani G, huni kantai hajali G, huni mtu mkali G, tuliza moto kufani G. Yo, yo, yo. That's why they call me. They call me Chris through the cantata.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Pawa Radio.
Mighty fingers.
I make mountains out of molehills, and it can be quite the scene. Think about how far I've come and my life looking greater than it's ever been. If I could eat my pie in the sky, it would be just my thing. Sipping on my champagne and my life looking greater than it's ever been. My life looking greater than it's ever been. How did you rise so fast, so high, and not melt your wings in the sun? You must be Africa's son. How did you rise so fast, so high, and not melt your wings in the sun? They say you must be an African. They say you must be Africa's son. They say you must be an African. They say you must be Africa's son. African. I don't know about my haters, but they should know about me. Keep me humble, oh God. My life looking greater than it's ever been. I overflow flavor. My pockets are full of greed. Even on my worst day, my life looking greater than it's ever been. Woo. My life looking greater than it's ever been. and not melt your wings in the sun. You must be Africa's son. How did you rise so fast, so high, and not melt your wings in the sun? They say you must be an African. They say you must be Africa's son. They say you must be an African. They say you must be Africa's son. You must be an African. Jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me back. If you're jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me back. If you're jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me back. If you're jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me, jealous, don't hold me back. If you're jealous, don't hold me back. Jealous, don't hold me, no, no, no. If you're jealous, don't hold me back. I'm saying, please don't jealous me. Please don't jealous me. I'm singing, please don't jealous me. Please don't jealous me. I'm singing, please don't jealous me.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Please don't jealous me. I think I'm just gonna stick to talking because singing ni akina Tetu Shani. That is Tetu Shani right there with Africa Sun opening us up to this Wednesday edition of the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike. Good morning, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for tuning in to Power Radio on this very beautiful, sun is out, and I love that. The birds are happy. They're chirping. I can hear them from wherever I am. Yes, this is Power Morning Drive Show, and welcome. We cruise this way all the way till 10 in the a.m. But before I get ahead of myself, let me tell you how you can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are at Power Radio across Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, as well as YouTube. You can also get this live broadcast across all our social media, as I have mentioned them, and also on our website at www.power254.org/Power Radio. Right. Let's get you the day's traffic updates, and we start off with Nairobi's high and mighty Thika Road. Yes, because why not? Kamakawa, it's bumper to bumper. I never quite understood why there's always traffic along Thika Road, apart from the fact that almost half of Nairobi's population live there. That's the only reason I can tell you. But from Thika Road Mall down towards town, things are bumper to bumper on Thika Road this morning. The same situation is happening across Kiambu Road from Ridgeways Mall down towards the DCI into Muthaiga. Same situation happening as well. There's also a little bit of a snarl up around Village Market on Limuru Road. From Village Market down towards Muthaiga, as well as you go into Parklands. Same situation happening right there. Lower Kabete from the Kitsuru Estate Road as you go towards Westlands around Silver Springs. Also, there's a little bit of a snarl up there, but not as heavy as it usually is, just a little bit slow, but surely moving. Wayaki Way is also looking busy from Kabete National Polytechnic all the way down towards ABC Place. Just a little bit of a snarl up there, but clears out soon after that. I can also see that Ngong Road is looking busy this morning from the Junction Mall down towards Prestige Plaza into Valley Road as well. Traffic continues down towards Valley Road for sure. Same situation happening also along Langata Road. It starts from Uhuru Gardens down towards Capitals. From Uhuru Gardens down towards the intersection between Raila Odinga Road, which incidentally looks very clear this morning. Nothing much to complain about. All right, industrial area, that road from Manyanja Road into Buruburu from Buruburu into town. Things looking quite busy this morning. I can also see that Mombasa Road is looking busy from the Next Gen Mall down towards Capital Center. Heavy traffic. Should be out of the woods in no time, but a little bit of patience on that. Embakasi, same situation on your way towards Jomo Kenyatta International Airport. Things are looking quite busy this morning, inbound and also outbound for sure. Same situation happening on Jogoo Road. I can also see that Kikambala Road is also looking very busy this morning. Same situation also happening at Naivasha Road for sure. Kileleshwa Road, same situation, especially inbound as you go towards town. And that should be that. In case where you are and I've not mentioned there's a little bit of traffic, do let us know. The hashtag to use is hashtag Power Morning Drive. We'll take a short musical break, and when we come back, we get into what has been making the waves locally and internationally. This is Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Got the beautiful Miss V on them vocals. Calligraph Jones in the place. Rabbit. Teamwork. Let's get it.
From outer space, out of this world, we come in peace, tell your master all. We are taking over this place right now. But bring your crew, you can let them know. We in town, they should dress up for the show. We are bringing down this town tonight, oh. In an African party, we stomp our feet on the ground. We raise our hands in the air and say, hey, hey, hey. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mpono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu.
Imagine, hivyo ndo muingianga kwa klabu. Aujasikia tunakula life na adabu na masela sela. Wana hela umenijazika hiu. Mase hela ni jui basi tela ni king kaka. King of Zamunda, tuko ndani na tumedunga. Kaka clothing we bado mtumba. Mina manager tuko tight anajua mini spend thrift. Meza drinks nimezipanga kama Tetris.
In an African party, we stomp our feet on the ground. We raise our hands in the air and say, hey, hey, hey. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madeni na machali tu. Usijali hali mpono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu.
Bro, check it, yow. I go like boom, 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 boom. Mikono kwa hewa nikifika tu kwa boom, 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 boom. As I be rolling when I be the cruiser, boom, boom. Get out the way. I'm feeling like money today. I'm here to pour it up all over the club. I'm willing to pay, so that's how I plan to go and tap it. Hey y'all, fee what up, let's make it happen. I'm here to get it cracking. Shorties are telling me that I'm attractive, cause they be feeling the swag, I'm classic. Call me Papa Jones, and that's it. That's it. I'm on.
Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mpono juu. Luka, leo hatulali jo. Dunda, asubuhi mpaka kesho jo. Washanare madem na machali tu. Usijali hali mikono juu. Luka, oh.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
unampigia simu kama nani? Eti niachane mume wako nani? Unajua Nadia kweli mimi nani?
We ni nani? Unampigia simu kama nani? Yeah. Hata utoe vya ndani, atarudi hapa kwangu tu nyumbani. Yeah.
Anapenda vidogodogo, mwenzako anavimumunya. Mwanamke unapenda zogo, tafuta jambo hilo la kufanya.
Simu havinishtui, atachoka nawe, wengine aende, yule hakagui.
Kelele ya chura haizui ng'ombe kunywa maji. Kwangu habanduki, kwako hatoboki, na kwa maana ye
anapenda wife material, mwenzako anakudanganya. Mwanamke una kasoro, tafuta jambo hilo la kufanya. Mwisho yataisha ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu. Huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu. Kubali yaishe ni wangu. Mi sitakoma, koma, koma, koma. Mi sitakoma, koma, koma, mama.
Ntakukomboa, komboa, komboa, komboa. Ntakukomboa, komboa, komboa, msichana we. Oh, ni wangu. Huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu. Mwisho yataisha ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu. Huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu. Kubali yaishe ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu. Huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu. Mwisho yataisha ni wangu.
Oh, ni wangu. Huyo nasema ni wangu. Oh, ni wangu. Kubali yaishe ni wangu.
Your kind of music, all day, all night, right here on your only station, Power Radio.
Welcome back. That is Sanaipe Tande alongside the African pop star Nadia Mukami, and they are playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike, and let's get into it. Let's get into what has been making headlines, both locally and internationally. And just to start off with a quick skim through of what is on the top pages of the papers. The Daily Nation, the story here, the big story is a picture of President William Ruto, shaking hands with the Sudan's Rapid Support Forces leader, General Mohammed Hamdan Dagale. The title speaks to playing with fire. Dangerous territory. Kenya's credentials as a regional arbiter and peacemaker could be eroded as one of the Sudanese fighting factions, the paramilitary Rapid Support Forces RSF, prepares to launch a parallel government in Nairobi on Friday. President William Ruto has previously rolled out the red carpet for the group's leader, General Mohammed Hamdan Dagalo, angering the junta in Khartoum. That's a story that is further on discussed on page 4 and page 5 of the Daily Nation. Then there's also a story on Revealed, the cost of keeping a student in secondary school for a day, a story on the back page. We also have a story here of a man gets 150 years in jail for strangling his 3 children. A story on page 3, so that's quite sad. And then we have a story here on Prime Minister talk. Raila keeps Kenyans guessing on his next move. And then finally, there's a story on security here. Fake ID cards, Shabab suspects an abduction bid on foreign workers. Plastered on the page of the Standard newspaper, the big story is Betrayed by Kenya, a story of a very distraught Dr. Kizza Besigye. He is a long-standing opposition leader of the Museveni administration in Uganda. Has been a liberation struggle for decades, and he has paid the price for his beliefs. Abducted in Nairobi's Riverside estate and detained in Uganda, he lies in a terrorist cell in the throes of death as his health deteriorates with every passing minute. Fingers are now being pointed at the Ruto government to take responsibility with protests planned for Friday. A story that continues on page 4 and 5 of the Standard newspaper. On top of that, also, there is a story here about Sudan rebels to name a civilian government. A story on page 7 of the Standard. Broke. Cash circulation drops by 10 billion Kenya shillings on the business page. US, Russia meet with no Ukraine. That's a story that we shall be looking at on our international docket. And Karanga beats Camera Fears Eyes Mko win. That's on some sports news. Committee intrigues as heads roll. And lastly, hustlers to get SHIF loans. The Ministry of Health has said it will give out loans to those unable to pay for health insurance so that they enjoy services. My God. This country is very creative. We are very creative in making... I don't even know what to say to that. But let's begin with the story here that is making headlines. We'll talk about all the ways that the health of this country is really unhealthy. Anyway, let's talk about Kizza Besigye first, and we get into the conversation after we listen into this story done by Citizen TV.
All right, moving on. Civil rights organizations have announced plans to stage demonstration at Kenya's Parliament building and Ugandan embassy to demand the immediate release of Dr. Kizza Besigye and other political prisoners. In a joint statement, the group said the continued detention of Dr. Besigye and other political prisoners contravenes a Supreme Court of Uganda decision declaring unconstitutional the trial of civilians before a military court. Dr. Besigye's health is deteriorating following his hunger strike.
Wale wote ambao wameshtakiwa kwa mahakama ya kijeshi ambao kesi zao zinaendelea ama wameweza kukata rufaa ama kwa njia moja ama nyingine kupinga kesi hizi kuweza kuachiliwa ama kesi zao kupelekwa kwa koti za kawaida ambazo zinahusiana na wananchi.
We are calling all the health workers, that is in Tanzania, in Uganda, and even in Kenya, and all the citizens, that it's not right to hold or to detain any person who is fighting for the rights. And for this case, somebody who was abducted in Kenya. We are saying that there are professional ethics that take charge of all the health workers. And in this case, it has been reported that his health is also deteriorating. He's also being denied access to healthcare, yet he's a healthcare provider.
I would like to implore for the East Africans and the citizens in particular to understand that we need to unite against such abductions, because leaders have to understand to be critical, to be a political opposition member is not a crime.
The principle should be that the right to life is indivisible and cannot be quantified, and that once that is violated, the perpetrators are just as guilty or liable as if it happened to 100, 110 or so people.
All right, welcome back. So that is, human rights defenders there. We also have activists coming together, and they are releasing the statement and saying that they are going to march to the Ugandan embassy in Nairobi on Friday to demand the release of Kizza Besigye. Now, Kizza Besigye has been a very prominent opposition leader in Uganda. And what this story has to do with Kenya, a lot of blame is being directed towards the Ruto-led government, because so he was in Nairobi in November last year, and he was abducted from Nairobi and then was detained in Uganda. So there's a lot of questions that have been raised as to what the Kenyan government per se has to do with this abduction. And as you heard there was a lot of conversation about, the retrogression in democracy. What does it mean for Kenya to be able to be in such a light when it comes to the diplomatic ties, right, within the two countries? And why would Kenya see to it that the abduction of Kizza Besigye is successful? And then not only that, he has been detained in Uganda, and has been on a hunger strike according to his lawyer. For the past 1 week, and the reason as to why he's gone on to a hunger strike is so that he can send a message for his immediate release. So you had there the activists and people that work closely to ensure that the freedoms of people, like himself, the detained peoples of maybe political prisoners, we can call them that, demanding for his immediate release. Failure to which they are going to take drastic measures. So it's quite unfortunate. I mean, we just came out of a very big event in Addis Ababa, speaking about the diplomatic ties between Africa. It was, I think, we should have been a great moment for African states to think about the ways they should be steering and stewarding their diplomatic ties. And so when we have a country, first of all, in the East African community, both countries, Kenya and Uganda, have had long-lasting ties for God knows how long. Having to be at loggerheads with something as very pertinent, and disturbing as the abduction of a very key figure in the political landscape of Uganda, then it raises more eyebrows as to what exactly would be our or rather Kenya's perception and image. I mean, it sends a very bad image even to the international community. And I mean, abductions in the country, I'm not saying that those are okay, but like abducting somebody who is also a powerful figure from a different country in a different country is crazy enough for me. And so more questions regarding what exactly Kenya's interest would be in this would call it an illegal detention, because that's what it is. I'm sure Kizza Besigye was here on his own personal errands in Nairobi in November, and for that to have happened, then there's something that we're not being told here. And so the lawyers are a lot of investigation. That's what the police are saying, that there's going to be investigations as to whether this matter is indeed in order as it has been reported. But the only thing that has come out of it is that he is already he's already detained. He's in Kampala hospital, and that's just that. Now, in a quick clap back, Yoweri Museveni, who is the president of Uganda, said this on Twitter, that fellow Ugandans, especially the Bazukulu, I have seen the concern by some Ugandans regarding the remanding of Dr. Besigye for the very serious offenses he is alleged to have been planning. If you want a stable country, the more correct question should be, why was Dr. Besigye arrested? The answer to that is a quick trial so that facts come out. Otherwise, you are promoting insecurity, which is very dangerous for the country. Nobody in the world can easily give us lectures on reconciliation. And so he goes on to say that, his stance is quite strong, and nobody can tell him what to do in terms of governing his country. So, if you ask me, but nobody is asking me, it's again another failure of African leaders to uphold the democracy that we so much overstate but underdeliver in that regard. And then the fact that Yoweri Museveni can come out and say that one man is a threat to the security of the whole country. That also is very telling, and it goes further to show, the kind of problems that we are dealing here with as a collective, or regionally as well. We can't continuously make allowances for this kind of things to happen because of, impunity. And we know how the political landscape of Uganda is set up. We are talking about a country that has not had a change of a president for over 30 years. And so I think that also is deeply rooted in the lack of democracy and the upholding of democratic, processes in such a country. And so we hope that the truth is going to come out, and that justice for Dr. Besigye is also going to be served, and not in a delayed way, because as they say, justice delayed is justice denied. And I don't know, you let us know in the comments, what do you think the salvation of Uganda, and not really of Uganda, the salvation of Africa generally in terms of democracy and progressive politics, what do you think we need to do to ensure that we are right on the right track, and also demanding for great governance from our end. Let's move on now to a rather shocking story here. On the Daily Nation on page 3, I did read to you that a man has gotten 150 years in jail for strangling his 3 children. So on the night of March 18, 2019, Sharon Cherono had a disagreement with her husband, Bernard Kirui Kemoi, who sent her away from their village in Magutek, Bomet County. She went with her youngest child, leaving behind 3 others: Amos Kipngetich, 11, Vincent Kiprotich, 8, and Emmanuel Kiprono, who was also 8 years old. A day later, Kipkemoi followed Cherono to her parents' home and left the 3 children there. That evening, a drunk Kipkemoi returned and demanded to take the children with him. Because it was late, he was asked to go back home alone, with the assurance that the children would be returned to him the following morning. But as the stories would have, he actually went on further and murdered his children on March 22nd in 2019 by strangling. And that's quite unfortunate. And fortunately for us, we shall be talking to Mtoto News, who have dedicated their entire lives to ensuring the safety of children. So we will discuss about this story in depth, and also just kind of try to understand how can we ensure that children are being safeguarded. I also just saw a news story yesterday on Citizen TV about a child, 13-year-old boy called Jalen, who was found murdered and found on the street there by stabbings, both on the stomach and also on his neck as well. And it was just a horrendous thing to think about. And why would somebody even resolve into killing children? So, yes, that's one story of him being brought to book. So that's, I guess, a lifetime imprisonment. But more so, we just really need to think about more stringent measures to ensure that the safety of not only children, but also just the safety of each and every one of us is something that we are prioritizing. Let's take a quick break, and then when we come back, we finalize on what has been making the rounds. This is Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Just a little bit, yeah.
The money make me fly like a kite. I wish the money make me fly like a kite. I wish the money make me fly like a kite. I wish that money make me fly like a kite.
Just a little bit. like the sea. Bora uhai, c'est la vie. All of these roads lead you to me. Make me spend all my money for peace and quiet mystery. Forbidden fruit is out of reach. I've got a hunch, a certainty. You make me spend all my money. Dice, a slap on the cheek, the thrill of the chase ends in defeat. If we are survivors, then we try harder. Most of my life I've been asleep. Who will I hold? Who will I keep? All of this talk is way too deep. I need to spend all my money.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
King of the jungle, love child, first lady, Washington Harmony.
Honey Hall.
Ladies and gentlemen, introducing East African Bashman crew. Baby, know them fire. Work it, you know them fire. Work it, you know we fire. Work it, you know we fire. Work it, fire, fire. You know we fire. Yes, man, we fire. You know we fire. You know we fire.
In the club, everybody just push up your hand. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Pretty girl from the block, put you wind up your waist. Hey, oh, hey, oh. All of them good boy around just mash up the place. Hey, oh, hey, oh. These are the East African reggae bashment crew. Hey, oh, hey, oh.
In a the place, good girl step up, no man contest. Who that one fittest? East African Bashmen, the best. Look how we spread fire up on the place. Flash up on your lighter, rooms we are blessed. It no matter wearing trouser or dress. Party is a party, so we blaze up the place. Party is a party, so we blaze up the place. Say goodbye, won't you come with me? Light under the sycamore tree, and after maybe you and me can go down a Shashamane. Goodbye, won't you come with me? Light under the sycamore tree, and after maybe you and me can go down a
In the
Shashamane.
club, everybody just push up your hand. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Pretty girl from the block, put you wind up your waist. Hey, oh, hey, oh. All of them good boy around just mash up the place. Hey, oh, hey, oh. These are the East African reggae bashment crew. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Unstoppable combination since the booties. Step on stage like we step in a movie. Love chat, the violence, your son, you better sue me. It take a whole lot of problem for do me. Can a love child never get a chance with you? East African lady, my bashment lady. Can a love child never get a chance with you? East African lady, my bashment lady.
Excuse me. Number one, be a band them. Bad man making me surround them. Give them no space for excuses. When a woman or man just provoke them.
Strong face of five while they wake them a cry. Eliminate all the boss man around. Put them a hand for the tight and them out. Step up them head with a get the hand ball.
In the club, everybody just push up your hand. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Pretty girl so nice, and I wanna get close to you. Cause when I get so close to you, my girl, I feel so nice. Sometimes I feel so nice when I get close to you. Necessary noise, baby cool. East African reggae bashment. In the club, everybody just push up your hand. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Pretty girl, can you block, put you wind up your waist. Hey, oh, hey, oh. All of them good boy around just mash up the place. Hey, oh, hey, oh. This are the East African reggae bashment crew. Hey, oh, hey, oh. In the club, everybody just push up your hand. Hey, oh, hey, oh. Pretty girl, can you block, put you wind up your waist. Hey, oh, hey, oh. All of them good boy around just mash up the place. Hey, oh, hey, oh. This are the East African reggae bashment crew.
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
All right, welcome back. That is the East African Bashment crew with... I forgot it. And it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. Right, let's go to now some national news here on page 2 of the Standard newspaper. Patients to suffer more pain after clinical officers down their tools. The healthcare system is once again on the verge of paralysis as clinical officers begin a nationwide strike. Under the Kenya Union of Clinical Officers, KUCO, the workers have accused both the national and county governments of failing to honor their commitments. Some of the demands from clinical officers are placement of 800 UHC clinical officers on permanent and pensionable basis. Secondly is employment of 200 clinical officers under Global Fund, employment of more nurses to bridge shortage, promotions. They're also demanding redesignation of clinical officers, implementation of 2017 return to work formula, conclusion and signing of CBA, provision of medical cover, and shortage of clinical officers. And by the way, they started their strike yesterday, and this was confirmed by the Secretary General, George Gibore. And just next to that, there's a story here that is quite disturbing, that hustlers to be given loans to pay for the social health insurance fund through a loan system. That's according to your health ministry. The Court of Appeal had that they can access money required for contributions and pay later with interest. And of course, this is a story that went to court by High Court Judges David Majanja and Christine Mioli and Lawrence Mugambi in 2023 that declared the scheme unconstitutional. And I'm just like, okay, so we've been knowing that the healthcare in Kenya is quite the sham, and on top of that, it seems as if it's a cash cow. How can you demand that Kenyans pay on you loan Kenyans, the Kenyans that pay their taxes so that they can have healthcare services. You want to give them loans so that they can repay back with interest. You know, this nonsense just has to stop. And I don't even have much to say to this. It's nonsense. It's nonsensical. It's whimsical. I do not even understand. Why would you make Kenyans pay on loan to access services that the government should be able to already give them? And this is the same, you know what? Let me just end these stories here because I don't even want to think about the implications and whose idea was it to begin with? Like which people sat down and decided that, you know, let's to make it easier for Kenyans or harder, let's make sure that they pay for their healthcare by loans. That does not make sense to me. And yeah, I hope that it's going to continue being upheld. In court, we have to repeal this and we have to stop. We have to end the madness in this country. We can't always jump from one thing to the other. We just have to end the madness with immediate effect. That story leads us to the end of our international and local news roundup. Let me take a quick breather. Today, we are joined by the team from Mtoto News, and we shall be discussing all things to do with children, safety, and, upholding the rights of children. How can we empower children? How can we ensure their protection? I mean, we just read stories here of children being murdered and being abducted, others being strangled. What can we do to ensure the safety of young children? So let's take a quick breather. When we come back, my guests are already here. We get into that discussion. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
This is Hendrix Sam.
Hekima mdomoni mwake na uzuri wake wasambaza kote. Heshima kwake ni msingi, akiipeana apewa kwa wingi. Kusu kusu kusu, wivu na wivu, jamaa yake mwendo wake. Kusu kusu kusu, wivu na wivu, jamaa yake. Manzi wa maana ni manzi wa nguvu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Ni manzi wa nguvu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Kazi zake ni za kuvutia, lote afanyalo afanyia Mungu, na ukweli ndiyo nguvu yake. Maombi moyoni yamuimarisha, na ujali wa mwingine chake yeye haki, usichana wake hadi wawe. Chali wa mwingine chake yeye haki, usichana wake. Manzi wa maana ni manzi wa nguvu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Ni manzi wa nguvu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Maana ni manzi wa Mungu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Ni manzi wa nguvu, manzi ambaye amwogopaye Mungu siku zake zote. Henry Mutuku ulinifunza manzi wa maana,
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Pitsy, Bitty bitty, hey mama be funny. Bitty bitty, watoto be funny. Bitty bitty, wa baba be funny. Bitty bitty, hare hare hare. Ikane, watoto be funny. Bitty sekera, watoto be funny. Walala, ikane, watoto be funny. Bitty sekera, watoto be funny. Walala, udabana bakaba. Ololo, utalabana badaka. Yebiseyona, abana basinda. Mukora chiwena, muchetu batase. Badagadaga, badaga, serina. Babona, bona, babona, bisimonti. Badagadaga, badaga, serina. Babona, bona, babona, bisimonti, bisimonti. Ikane, watoto bifane. Bitani sekera, watoto bifane. Ikane, watoto bifane. Bitani sekera, watoto bifane. Let's go now. Ikane, watoto bifane. Bitani sekera, watoto bifane. Ikane, watoto bifane. Bitani sekera, watoto bifane. Asiaire, pamenyere, anabao, padije kuyadena, kuyadena. Viejevi, tekejego, kamatame, sikanako, moraga, nako, moraga. Namo Kenya, ana are, kere akoro, aiye, menyereni, ana nebi ewa. Namo toma, ana kere, sayakoro, sirikare, menyereni, ana nebi ewa. Ikare, tewale, bifane, watoto, tanseke, watoto, bifane, ikare, tewale, bifane, watoto, tanseke, watoto, bifane,
Power Radio. Tune in and power up.
That is my whole childhood summed up. I mean, I would look forward to singing that song by Ambassador. The song is in Kane and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike, and in case you're just joining us, this is the Power Morning Drive Show. You can get in touch with us on our social media handles. We are at Power Radio across all our social media handles on X, on Instagram, on Facebook, as well as on our YouTube channel. You can also find us on our website, www.power254.org/Power Radio. And incidentally, we are streaming across all those platforms as well. And now, today, that song was a nice segue to kind of give you a little bit of a heads up of what we are going to be talking about today. Today, we are going to be talking about children. Yes, you heard me right, children. I'm sure if my friends are watching, and they probably are, they are wondering, and children, we know very well how they do not go together, and I'm gonna be sharing that, a little bit of that, with my guest in studio. I don't understand children. I just see those little humans, and I want to run away from them. So maybe Mtoto News can help me start to just even have a little bit of some patience with children. But yes, I am joined by Catherine Karoki from Mtoto News. She's going to introduce herself and let us know exactly what she does at Mtoto News and everything that she is all about. All right. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm good. And how are you?
I'm very fantastic. Karibu sana Power Radio.
Thank you.
Good to see you. How are you feeling?
Friday vibe on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday.
On a Wednesday.
It's good.
Friday vibe on a Wednesday. I take that. I can take that. I can take that. All right. Yes. For anybody who might not know who you are, kindly introduce yourself and let us know what you do at Mtoto News.
Great. My name is Catherine. I'm the Deputy CEO and Head of Partnerships at Mtoto News. We, or I'd rather say we are very focused on children advocacy and have passion for children.
Yes. Yeah. Oh, so now there's a little bit of a backstory there that I had started with. How do you save me from this thing called not liking children?
Let me tell you,
yes,
children are, they have not been hawajachokozwa na society bado. They are still fresh, innocent.
Yes, yes.
So when you work with them or when they interact with you, they are coming from a place of pure goodness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
They have that pure goodness because they want the best for themselves. They want the best for the person they're interacting with. They want the best for the environment. They want the best for animals. They want the best for their education. So they are the best people to work with.
Wow.
Yeah. They have not been corrupted yet.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe by the end of this interview, I would have gotten to a place where I can tolerate them.
Yeah. And then they are very smart. They are very smart.
Kids are very smart. Yeah. It's amazing. Right. Okay. So so Mtoto News. Why does Mtoto News exist? What do you guys do?
So we are a digital and media platform. We've been there for, actually this is the 8th year.
Yes.
And we work with children from the age of 8 to 17 years on matters child participation, research and data, and content creation. So before we start working with these children, obviously we have to go through the parents to get consent. So we have to talk to the parents. And the parents usually see a talent in their kids, but they want to nurture it.
Yes.
So they bring them on board on Mtoto News, and then we do a training with them called Sauti Zetu Training. Here on the training, we take them through the basics of journalism, photography, videography, research, advocacy, online safety, digital literacy, writing, fact checking. And then after the training, so that's where the child feels, because it's a group of children, maybe I can do something.
Right.
So that's where we sit with the children. They tell us what they want to do. If they want to do a show, we do a show with them together, come up with a concept with them together, and then they give us an idea of what they want to do, and then we get them through the process.
Wow.
So we have so many shows done by these children, and currently we have a very good show called Mission Accomplished.
I saw Kerikagiri on it.
Yes. So the show is also on Akili TV, Akili Network, and it's doing great. And these boys started through the training.
Wow.
We also have podcasts with these children. They come and share views on. They come and share on matters affecting them and solutions that they feel should be done.
Right.
To be able to solve those issues.
Yeah. I mean, by the time you thought about, instilling this kind of disciplines in children, there must have been something that you saw in them. So what was that?
So it started with my boss. Her name is Jennifer.
Yeah.
She has 2 kids.
Okay.
And one day her child was watching a cartoon and her child had dreads and Jennifer had dreads. And the child was like, I want to have hair like that white Western girl.
Yes.
So the mom was like, why? And you are beautiful the way you look.
Yes.
But she was like, no, but I want to look like. So the mom saw there's a gap. Jennifer saw that children are actually following what they're seeing on TV, westernized, not knowing that they actually are beautiful the way they are. And especially because we are very Pan-African focused. Being an African child, wanting to look like a Westerner. She felt that she needed to do something.
Right.
And then that's how she started Mtoto News. She started it in her house.
Wow.
Segmented the place. It was only like 2 people. Started talking to the parents. She had like 2 children, 3 children.
Yes.
Right now we are working with children across Africa.
That is so cool.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's a passion that she started with a passion.
Yes.
And people realize that there's a gap.
Yes.
That in most institutions that work with children, children's voices are not heard. Children are not given a chance to speak on matters that affect them and also share solutions on how those issues can be changed.
Yes.
So that's what we've been doing all along. It has been hard because, working with children don't have buying power. It's the parents.
Yes, yeah. That's right. Yeah.
But the fact that the parents are seeing a change in their children, because we
Yes.
are creating leaders from a very young age. And I wish we had that when we were young.
Yes.
We were not given a chance.
Oh, yeah.
Us, when we were growing up, is sit down, eat. Go there. Don't speak when
question.
visitors are there.
Yes, you speak only when you're spoken to.
But now these kids actually are going to boards in front of organizations and boards, and they're in boards for children like TikTok and UNICEF. They are going to organizations and speaking on matters affecting themselves and other children on their behalf across the country.
Yes.
They have public speaking skills. I did not have public speaking skills when I
you were
was
that age. No, truly.
Yeah. So they are doing amazing, and they are doing an amazing job.
Yeah. Oh wow,
Yeah.
that's so incredible.
Yeah.
So I just read a story here about children being strangled. We also saw the yesterday in news. There's a kid, 13-year-old boy, Jaylan, who was found dumped there, and it got me thinking about child safety. So what are some of the biggest contributing factors towards the threats of child safety as it stands in Kenya? Yeah, and what are you guys doing about that?
So child safety starts with the parent. As we are coming in, as we have been given consent by
Yes.
the parent.
Right.
We cannot go to the child without the parent. So it basically starts with the parent. We do have parent workshops because right now parents are working so hard, forgetting, I wouldn't say forgetting, but because they want to give their children the best, they're working so hard to get that money. But they're leaving their child at home, most likely with a stranger, yes, no. But sometimes they cannot see what is going on if they don't have that intimate connection with the child.
Yeah.
So we have parents workshops where we teach them on how to bond with your child.
Yes.
Because sometimes a child can also anarudi nyuma because anaona mzazi ampatie attention. But mzazi ampatie attention because they're working so hard to make sure that the child has everything.
Yeah.
So we do have parent workshops. But consent starts with the parent.
Yeah.
It starts with the parent, and then as we come in to make sure that child safety protection policies are there, we make sure that whenever we are interacting with the child, or when the parent has given us to the child to be with them, that the environment they are in is safe.
Yes.
That whatever they are watching is safe.
Right.
If they are online, whatever they are doing online, it's safe. They know how to report a predator. Actually, this is part of the training, that even when they are online and they see someone who is a predator, they actually report that person in the right manner.
Wow.
So as we come in, after the parent has consented, that's when we come in.
Right.
Yeah.
And so does that also go to the digital safety on children? Because of course, online safety for children is one of the biggest plagues of our times.
Yes. Actually, that is also part of our training.
Yeah.
Because sometimes as much as we think we know what the children want, we want to hear what they want.
Yes.
From there, because a child, the funny thing about a child, ukimwambia hapana, ndio atafanya.
Curiosity.
Yes. The more you tell a child no, the more they want to know, why are you telling me no?
Yes.
So what we do, we train them. We take them through a course. If you're going online, this is where to maneuver. This is how to go about it. We teach the parents about family pairing so that when the child is online, the parent can see what the child is doing.
Yes.
We teach the child on how to report. If they see someone who is abusive or a predator, they can report, and they also come and tell us so that we can take action as well on our side.
Yeah.
And we also verbalize it on our social media platforms because children are very innocent and they need to be protected.
Extra care.
But it has to be joint forces. It has to be joint forces with the government. It has to be joint forces with the parents.
Yes.
Yeah. It has to be
Schools.
joint forces with schools.
Yes.
And I believe if everyone takes up their role, which they are doing. Those small things that we see here and there, that's what now we are trying to squash. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
What does it take to raise an empowered child?
Wow. Initiative from the parent.
Okay.
So that when the trainings usually start the first day, we get children who are very timid.
Okay.
They don't want to speak. They don't know what to say.
They are shy.
And then we work with children all across. Children who are maybe living in the lower income areas, the one living in higher incomes. We balance it out. We don't atubagui.
Okay.
Because when they come,
Yeah.
it's the same level playing field.
Right.
You see?
Yeah.
So when the child sees that, oh, kumbe nani can do this, I can also do it. Kumbe I knew about this, but I did not know how to go about it. By the 5th day, because we usually have a graduation with the kids,
Okay.
we invite the parents, and then the kids do a presentation.
Okay.
The feedback that we get from the parents is they are usually shocked. Because the child came in timid and shy. Now this is the child that wants to go
and just be
in boards
all over.
and all over the world to
Yes.
talk about children rights.
Yes,
Yeah, because
yes.
children, it's a monkey see, monkey do kind of situation. If a child sees another child wanting to do that and they're actually doing, they also want to do it and they motivate each other.
Yes.
So it's called peer learning. So they motivate each other and they want to do so much together.
Right.
And they end up becoming friends, they
Yeah.
end up becoming brothers, and they
Yes.
motivate each other.
Yeah. Are there some notable kids that have been, that have gone through your program that we know them right now? Like some of the, could you maybe speak to some of the impact stories that you that stand out for you?
Sure.
Yeah.
So there's the Kenya Children Assembly.
Okay.
We have children in the government space.
Okay.
We have children in UNICEF boards. We have children in NGOs in the boards for youth. We have children who have gone outside the country to go and speak on matters that affect them. We
Yes.
have children on the TikTok board. So these are children who have gone through the training. Currently, we have a African Children's Summit.
Okay.
Pre-summit in Kenya.
Yes.
The first one was in 2023.
Okay.
And then now the one that we're having this time, culminating to the one in April. The project lead, Brian,
who is going to be joining
speaking
us soon.
Yeah. He started at
Shortly.
Mtoto News when he was very young.
Wow.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this guy is in so many boards. He does so much, and he's still
a
in
youngin.
school, and he's a youngin.
Yes.
But he started through that process.
Right.
Now that's impact.
Okay.
The fact that now he's taking leadership roles and speaking on matters affecting children, and he's doing it with passion. And he started very young, and started maybe when he started he was shy, but now he's doing all these things. For me, that is impact.
Okay.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Yeah.
And there's also the very important question about inclusion, right?
Yes.
Diversity and
Yeah,
inclusion.
yeah.
How inclusive are your trainings? I mean, do we have catering for PWDs, for example?
Yeah.
Children that are living with disabilities. I know you did mention that you also serve that kids that come from underserved backgrounds, because
Yes.
of course those are some of the people that always get relegated from these amazing opportunities. So what is going on in that front of inclusion and diversity?
So first of all, we have trained over 10,000 children.
Okay.
Across Africa.
Okay.
When we do the trainings, when parents register their children, we don't bagua. So even the PWDs
are there.
Yeah, even those in
included.
low manage, because the training is usually at a cost.
Okay.
So
how much?
It's usually around 10,000.
10,000
per child.
Okay.
Purpose is because of the meals are provided, stationery is provided, and it's a 5-day
program.
5-day program.
So in the 5 days, we pay 10,000 per child.
Yes.
And what are some of the programs that the children get?
So it's
the skills?
they usually go through basic journalism, photography, writing, online safety, fact checking, digital literacy, AI, writing, technology, everything.
Yes.
And then so when that training, that 10,000, for those parents who are not able to afford, now that's where we get partners to be able to pay for that program. Because we have strategic partners who come in and assist with these trainings because they've seen the impact that it has had.
Right.
Well, there are those parents who are so busy at work, they're not able to bring their children. So we make sure that transport is catered for these children, because the parent has seen the need and we are there for that child. So we have to make sure that child comes. And we have a safeguarding officer. Make sure that they take the child from home and they bring them in the evening back home to the parent. So that the parent, when he's at work, his mind is not that mtoto yuko sawa. So we have all those protocols placed. But also we as much as it's 10,000, sometimes a parent can come and tell us, oh, I only have this.
Okay.
We will not we will make sure that the child will not miss that chance.
Okay.
because
it's case by case.
it's case by case, because we see we know the need, we've seen the need,
Yes.
and we've seen the impact of these trainings.
Yes.
We've seen how far they've gone.
Yes.
Like currently we had Africa AI Village Summit in Paris, and we had one of our children go and represent other children.
Amazing.
Talking on children and AI. This is a child who has gone through the process of the Sauti Zetu training.
Right.
But we had a partner who will be able to cater for this child, because they have seen the need and they've seen the growth that what Mtoto News is doing is actually very impactful.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So we do work with all children, all from all marginalized areas. We've gone through all counties in Nairobi, in Kenya. We've gone to Kisumu, we've gone to Homa Bay, we've gone to Mombasa, we've gone to Nakuru.
Yeah.
All these places we've done the training.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, if you are just joining us, we are talking to Catherine Karoki from the Mtoto News, and we are in the meats and the bones of discussing how can we ensure that we are raising an ecosystem that supports children, and to children that are protected, empowered, and in all spheres of their lives. How do we ensure that children are raised holistically to be the best version that they can be? Let's take a quick breather, and when we come back, we get into some more of what Mtoto News is doing in ensuring that future, that ideal world that children are brought in exists, and what they are doing in terms of extending that, even not only locally but also across the region. Keep it Power Radio. If you have any questions for Miss Catherine, kindly do let us know. The hashtag to use is hashtag Power Morning Drive as Power Radio across all our socials, and we will be sure to do our due diligence to answer that. Keep it Power Radio.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Wanipigia sishiki, wanitumia ujumbe sijibu. Sijui ni kwa nini, I wish ningekuwa na majibu. I don't want to disappoint you, so I would rather avoid you. But believe me, I feel you. Na ni kweli ninajaribu, lakini moyo wangu huenda du. Every time I think of me and you, I'm afraid that I am going to love you, then later I am going to lose you. Moyo wangu huenda du. Every time I think of me and you, I'm afraid that I am going to love you. But I'm gonna try and give a chance brain goes 100 miles an hour. I think of everything that could go sour. My heart really wants this to work out, and I'm terrified of getting a blackout. Lord forgive me, I have been running away from my true feelings, and it's time to stop being afraid and face my true self. Lakini moyo wangu huenda du. Every time I think of me and you, I'm afraid that I am going to love you, then later I am going to lose you. Moyo wangu huenda du. Every time I think of me and you, I'm afraid that I am going to love you. But I'm gonna try and give a chance am gonna try for you. 'Cause I'm gonna try for you. I'm gonna give my love to you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Right, welcome back. You are still tuned into the Power Morning Drive Show. That is Miss Sero with Kue, and it's playing right here on Power Radio, where you tune in and power up. My name is Wanyoike. I'm your host, and we are here with Miss Catherine Karoki from Mtoto News, and we are still unpacking the state of children in Kenya. What can we do? What are they doing at Mtoto News to ensure that the next generation is coming up well and coming up holistically? And so now that you lead, the partnerships docket, right? What kind of or rather, I would love to know what are you looking for in terms of partnerships? How do you decide who gets to be a great partner for the work that you're doing at Mtoto News? Yes.
So, as I had mentioned earlier, we are child-led.
Yes.
So it means that we look for strategic partners whose focus mainly is on matters affecting children in the different products that we have. Because we have products on safety by design, where we interact with software developers and engineers that whenever they are creating these apps for children, they have them in mind.
Yes.
We have Child Lab.
Yes.
Where these products that children are consuming, has there been a focus group and they've been asked what they think about the product?
Yes.
The children can share what they think about the product, how it should be packaged, the marketing aspect of that, because they're the ones consuming that product. Because someone might start a company of maybe cereal,
yes,
and they wonder why the children are not taking it. Have you asked the children about it?
Yes.
If it's content creation,
yes,
we do live streaming for kids events in partnership with other organizations. If it's advocacy, we have children who go and speak on matters affecting children all across the world. And child participation is our main focus. Where organizations that are actually focused on child participation, those are our strategic partners. Because we have done trainings with the children. We have the capacity. We have the training of trainers who train these children. We have the safeguarding policies. So child participation is very key for us. And organizations that actually do this, those are our strategic partners.
Yes. Gotcha. Yeah. Is the government also a partner? Are you guys partnering with government in any way?
Yes. Definitely. Because government has to be involved. And through the Children Act and the National Policy Protection, government is very involved to ensure that safeguarding of children is very key. And their rights are very hard.
Right. You spoke about some of the children from your training, you've been even represented at the UNICEF boards and stuff like that. And the question that comes up is tokenism, where you just get a small demographic of children and we put them there, place them there. They are only seen. Yes, they might speak, but are their voices really truly heard in terms of they can come up with opinions, right? They can come up with ideas, but do they, at the end of the day, are the ideas being followed up? So how do we ensure that children's voices are not only heard, but we action on what they are saying because they are the ones who are being affected? For example, when we just saw, for example, Greta Thunberg, she was a child when she first came out with the climate justice activism, and of course we saw a very big whirlwind across the world reverberating. I mean, children went crazy with that green transition across the world. They were doing strikes on Fridays. Even here locally, we saw a lot of action for climate action and stuff like that. So how do we ensure that children's voices are not tokenized, but we can actually see their voices being implemented and actioning and also being held accountable?
So we work with children and youth. First of all, maybe I can mention that. And then because we are child-led, the children and the youth are the ones who tell us
what they want.
So they see something on the news or when they're doing their research and there was, I want to solve this problem. Who can you connect me with? Through our partners, the child maybe says, it's online safety. I want to talk to TikTok. I have seen there's an issue that needs to be addressed on online safety.
Yes.
I want to talk to TikTok. So we go and talk to TikTok and we tell them, there's our child, I want to talk to you about this and this, and they feel concerned that this issue should be addressed.
Yeah.
They go and we go for a meeting. So basically we are there to guide them. We go for their meeting, they go and speak on what the matter that is affecting them. And then they also want to participate in being in the board so that they can ensure that whatever they've said is actually actioned.
Right.
So the children are the ones who tell us. If a child sees an issue in environment, they want to do something about it.
Yeah.
We take it up. We look for partners. We look for funding. And we make sure that this is actually addressed. The issue is actually addressed.
Yes.
So we are very, very child-led. We do not do it for them. They're the ones who guide us on what they want to do, and we make sure that it's implemented.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
So culturally, for a long time, I mean, we know the dismissal of children is a very big issue, right? And so in an African culture, in the Kenyan culture, it must be quite a big job to center children in decision making. How did you? What's the cheat code?
It's now their public speaking skills.
Yeah.
It's their research skills.
Yeah.
When, as much as we speak on their behalf, when we go to these meetings, we go with these children.
So they learn.
They
get to see.
And actually they go and speak for themselves.
Yes.
Because as much as I would speak for a child, it's like me speaking for you. You are the one who knows your needs. I can assist you. You've told me, I know somehow, but coming from you, it has more impact. So in meetings that we go to, we make sure that the children are there.
Right.
They share their concerns. They share their views. They share their ideas.
Right.
They share solutions on how they feel that these issues can be addressed. Because at the end of the day, this is very much needed. And the people that we go to talk to, they get impressed and they're like, oh, there's a gap we saw.
Yes.
We've seen that we had not seen.
Yeah.
And then they start interacting with these children to make sure that they actually it's actually the solution has been made. Because it not only looks good for the child, but it also looks good for the organization. So it's a win-win for the organization and the child. The child has actually been able to get the solution or has been able to assist where they felt that there's a gap, and the organization does something about it.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
What are some...
Sorry, with the help of the parent.
With the help of the parent. Gotcha. Yes. What are some of the narratives that are very displeasing for you that you've seen maybe play out in media when it comes to the image of children, and how can we ensure that is challenged?
It's people assuming that children don't know what's going on.
That they're dumb.
I think because that's how we were raised. So people assume that a child cannot know. And that's the narrative we are changing. That how about if you ask that child instead of assuming that they don't know?
Yes.
How about if you ask them, hear their views, hear what they have to say? You will be amazed. You will be amazed that they actually know, and they even know more than you think.
Think they know. Wow.
So that's the narrative that we want to change. And also being given a space. Yes, they have a space already, but also being given in any matters that affect them, for them to be given a space to speak on those matters. Because as much as we know, we can guide them, but also them, they want to share what they
to express
their feelings, to express what also the concern that they have. So they should also be given a space to talk.
Is in your interactions with those kids, is there maybe one thing that in your interaction has stood out, like one interesting thing or one interesting story that has ever happened to you with a child?
Yes. For me, one thing I picked is, if you treat a child like a child, they'll behave like a child.
Okay.
They are very smart.
Yes.
If you treat them like a child, they'll behave like a child. If you treat them like an adult or someone who knows what they're talking about, they will be amazed on what they tell you. So when we started this Mission Accomplished show, we didn't think we will get to season 2 of the show.
Wow.
These children have amazing ideas.
Yes.
They are like, I want to interview this person.
Yes.
And this is what I'm thinking.
Yes.
and this is how I want the interview to go. And we are like, oh,
Okay.
okay,
Let's do it.
Yeah. Last year we were at Citizen TV for a town hall, and the children were amazing. They were given a platform to speak, and one of the things they said, which for me was like, yeah, they said we don't want tokenism.
Hey, they said that.
They say that
verbatim.
Yes, it means people have been assuming, but they've never been asked.
Wow.
They're like, we like it,
Yeah.
but let's not isikwe sana.
Eh.
So they know what to say and they know what to speak on.
Look at that.
Yeah, we currently have a let's say a campaign going on for International Children's Day of Broadcasting in March, and we have told children to send a clip to share
Yes.
on that we'll share on our socials
Yes.
to what it means to them.
Yes.
And what is digital literacy.
Okay.
And the videos that we are getting from these children, we are like, this one was Googled. But it was not Googled.
No.
These children actually know what they want. Organically.
Wow.
They know what they want. They know what they are saying. And it's children across Africa. So for us, it's amazing that impact is continuing to grow.
Yes.
Impact, like there's impact, that children are doing things that we were never given a chance to do. And whatever they are doing, it's actually even better. They are refining it.
They're refining it.
Yeah, they are
That's
refining
so cool.
it.
Yeah.
So it comes out so good, and they want to do more. The fact that they're engaged, it's like when you tell a child, come and assist me to cook. The next time you'll find them in the kitchen, ready for you with an apron, they want to cook. Engage them.
Yes.
Engage the child, and you'll be amazed at the things that they can do.
Yeah. Right. I have heard parents saying that they are not only raising these children, but the children are raising them in one way or the other.
Yes.
Do you have a story of your own like that, even from those children that you work with at Mtoto News?
Yes.
Yeah.
As I
I
said,
mean, how did your interactions with these children maybe force you to look inwards and deal with maybe things that you've not dealt with or things like that?
Maybe I can give it from the perspective of buying power.
Okay.
Parents have the buying power,
Yes.
not the children.
Yeah.
But the children are the one who convince the parents.
That they want to be.
Yes. So when the Sauti Zetu training started, it started with a few kids. But these kids went and told their friends.
Wow.
And told their friends.
Word of mouth.
Word of mouth.
Yes.
And these friends went and convinced the parent, I want to join that training. Pay for me for that training. So they do have the convincing power.
Yes.
In education, who would have thought there would be apps?
Yeah.
Maybe it started off with a child telling the parent, by the way, there are so many apps, Facebook, why is there not an app for I can do my lessons on? You see? But the app was created, but was it created in the mind of putting the child in mind, or it's the parent in mind?
Yes.
Can the child maneuver?
Yes.
Is the language simple enough for the child to be able to understand?
Yes.
We currently have an AI tool called Kato.
Okay.
It's climate friendly, and it's for children to be able to interact with it on matters climate. But it's simplified. The language is simplified. It's child friendly.
Right.
Maneuvering in that app, in that AI tool, it's child focused, child centered.
Is it Kenyan based?
Yes, it's Kenyan based,
Wow.
but you can interact with it. You can interact with it across all platforms in whichever country that you are in.
Yes.
But this came from an idea from a child. They were like, oh, by the way, how come there's no AI tool for children on matters climate? Because you want to do something about climate. You want to change the environment.
So it was developed.
And it was developed by these kids. So they come up
It was developed by kids?
Yeah, they're the ones who came up with the concept.
Wow.
We just assisted on it, making sure that it's actually actualized.
Yes.
Yeah, but they're the ones who came up with the concept. This is what we want. This is what we are thinking. And we sat down, we strategized, we came up with the tool.
Yeah.
But this whole idea came from them.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. So why should parents sign out? Now speak to parents. Why should parents sign their children to
Sauti
your
Zetu.
program? Yes, Sauti Zetu.
Yeah. I would say if you feel you missed something when you were growing up that you are doing right now, you feel there's time that lagged behind. Why not start your child now? Because at the end of the day, parents want the best for their children. especially if they didn't have something when they were growing up that they can actually hang on
Yes,
to.
yes.
But this is the time that you can actually give your child that something that you didn't have. Adults right now are the ones discovering, I can do art. I can do writing.
Yeah.
Why not? If you've seen that talent in your child that they like doing writing, they like doing content creation, start them when they are young.
Yeah.
They say children are the future. No. Children are the
But
now.
they're the present.
They are the present.
Yes.
The children are the youth are the now. And if our current generation started off like this, maybe our leadership or the places that we are working in different. Maybe we'll be interacting with things differently.
Yes.
But because now your child has a chance, start them off with the training, and you will see impacts.
How does a parent or guardian identify these things that you're saying? How can one detect? Because maybe some of the reasons as to why some of us didn't maybe get those opportunities is that the parents were too busy, carving out a living, or they just weren't attentive enough. Yeah. So what are the telltale signs?
I think the aspect of attentiveness is very key, and also just noticing, why is your child timid? Why they are not speaking? You want them to be out there with other children, but they always want to be in the house.
Yes.
Or you notice, your child likes drawing.
Yes.
But what are you doing about it? We have a magazine done by children called Shajara Magazine. The articles are written by children.
Wow.
The drawings are done by children.
That's amazing.
The youth and the children are the ones. This whole magazine is children and youth.
Children-led, yeah.
Yeah, we have podcasts, content creation.
Yes.
Children and youth who are doing it.
Yeah.
So maybe the parents, my child likes speaking in front of a mirror. My child likes singing.
So you start from there.
Yeah. Maybe they don't have the qualities of public speaking. Start with something. There's something you've seen in your child. Start with something. Because every child has that unique gift. It's just that it has not been nurtured. It has not been processed. And if left for a long period of time, it dies off. Like for me, I loved doing poetry when I was young.
Okay.
And I liked drawing.
Yes.
But because I didn't have that space,
the bridge,
like Mtoto News has now, it fizzled. It died down. Unfortunately.
Yeah.
So right now at my age, am I going to start drawing?
I mean, why not?
Maybe art,
Yeah.
But for me, that was it. I loved doing it. So there's that thing that the parent sees, or also interact with your child and ask them, what do you love doing? Where do you feel at your happiest?
Yes.
And then engage your child to do an activity.
Yes.
That where the child
is aligned.
Yeah.
One would argue that 5 days then is not enough training for that child.
That's what we thought.
Yeah.
Because when the training started, it was 2 weeks. And then we realized children attention span is not my attention span. A child, kimpatia morning session, umpatia ka break kidogo, 2, 3 or 3 breaks. Kwa sawa. Mimi, I need like 2 weeks. I need like 2 weeks first to get everything right. But the attention span is very fast like this. They want to move on to the next thing.
Okay.
So that 5 days is usually very
enough.
And then after the training is done, we don't just let them go home.
Okay, you follow up.
Our office becomes, we usually call it a child hub, especially when schools close.
Okay.
Because children are always around.
Yes.
We follow up. If the child wants to come back and just sit and observe while they're thinking on what they want to do, it's allowed. If the child wants to just come and be around other children because maybe it's an only child and they feel, it's allowed.
Yes.
If a child wants to just be in that creative space, it's allowed. We give them time.
Right.
To be able to understand what they want to do. If I had children who have done the Sauti Zetu training and they're like, this is not for me. Then a month later, we get a call from the parent, my child wants to do podcast. They've decided it's podcast they want to do.
Yeah.
So they go and think about it. They're like, by the way, this is what I want to do. I saw this training was for me, it felt impactful. And we talk to the parent and we bring them on board and we do something with them.
Wow.
Yeah. So
awesome.
all children, a big percentage we interact with them after the training.
Okay.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Right. We are still in conversation with Catherine Karoki from Toto News, and we are talking about fostering ecosystems and environments for thriving children. When we come back, we are going to be talking to Brian King, and he'll tell us about the Africa Child Summit. So do keep it right here. Do not move a muscle. We'll be right back.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Road trips and young romances, breakups and second chances. Our rhythm steers through all these years. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Ringing the one ding ding, then the boom boom boom. Adding my nyatiti, then it's me and you. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Is it good? Heartbeats and stolen glances, oceans and wedding marches. Our music plays through all these days. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat only forever. If love is a drum, you are my drummer. I'll dance to your beat. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Ringing the one ding ding, then the boom boom boom. Adding my nyatiti, then it's me and you. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? Is it good for me? Is it good? If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action word. You can never give it to me too much, too much. If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action word. You can never give it to me too much, too much. My Isukuti love. Is it good for me? My Isukuti love. If you wanna know the power of my love, it's not a feeling, it's an action. My Isukuti love. Give it to me too much, too much.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
Alrighty, welcome back. That is Miss Mayonde and Isikuti Love, and it's playing right here on Power Radio. This is the Power Morning Drive Show. My name is Wanyoike, and my second guest has made it to the studio. Yay! That is Mr. Brian King. I will let him introduce himself shortly, and then we can get into our conversation.
All right.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
I'm so happy to be here.
Yes.
My name is Brian King. I am a 19-year-old child trade journalist by Toto News International. I am also a child rights advocate who is really, really passionate about making sure that African children are seen, heard, and engaged.
Amazing. Right. And you also double up as the Africa Child Summit lead. Kindly let us know what Africa Child Summit is all about and how we can all plug in.
Yeah. Thank you for that. So The Africa Children's Summit is a platform created by children.
Mhm.
You know, I was following the conversation previously, and
Yes.
I had Kate say, you know, it's
Yeah.
about time that children in
Yeah.
Africa, you know, get their own platform,
Yeah.
get acknowledged, you know, as tiny humans,
Yeah.
not just as children, but as
Mhm.
people with their own lived experiences,
Mhm.
people who have their own, you know,
Minds
minds
and ideas. Yeah.
and ways to do things.
Yeah.
Yeah, so the Africa Children's Summit was created in late 2022.
Mhm.
It was actually created by me and a couple of my friends.
Okay.
I was a child back then. I was
Mhm.
like 16, 17 years.
Yeah, yeah.
And I remember Jennifer, our CEO, an
Mhm.
amazing lady, you know,
Mhm.
like had gathered us up, and we were
Mhm.
just
Mhm.
preparing for the Day of the African Child.
Mhm.
It's usually on June 16th.
Yes.
And we were all just complaining about the previous one that just happened. And
Yeah.
we were like, it happened, but it wasn't really our day because
Yeah.
we were more guests
Mm.
than really, it wasn't our day. We were not
Mm.
celebrated. We were not part of the processes.
Right,
We were not
right.
involved
Yeah.
even in selecting the themes and everything.
Right.
So we were like, no, we would want to have a day of our own.
Mhm.
We'd want to really have something that is truly
Mhm.
child-led.
Mhm.
And so Jennifer was like, you know, why don't you create it?
Wow.
And that's how the Africa Children's Summit was created.
Yes.
We started the planning process.
Mhm.
I remember at that particular point, it was me, the child chair, and
Mhm.
like 12 other, you know, members from across Africa. Actually, that's the good thing.
Yeah.
The good thing about Mtoto News is we are connected Africa-wide.
That's so cool. Yeah.
Whenever we do things, it's not just the Kenya children doing this. It's like every child in Africa is participating one way or another. And the planning process started, and the inaugural Children's Summit happened in 2023. The theme was Seen, Heard, and Engaged.
Wow.
It came from the notion,
Yes.
you know, every time you ask our parents about how their childhood was like, and they're like, yeah, for us it was just like, hey, do this,
Yeah,
do that. You know, I even had
You're only
mention-
to be seen and not to be heard.
Exactly.
Yes.
We're supposed to be seen and not heard.
Yeah.
So we were like, you know what? We want to be seen.
We
We
wanna
want to be
be-
heard, but we also want to be meaningfully engaged.
Engaged,
You know?
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
we want to have the capacity to actually be meaningfully engaged. in the
Wow.
process.
Right.
So it happened, and it was big. It attracted the attention
Mhm,
of
mhm.
the Office of the United Nations Secretary General on
Wow.
Violence Against Children, the African Committee of Experts on Rights and Welfare of the Child, the Office of the President, the Office of the First Lady,
Wow.
the National Council on Administration of Justice on Access to Justice for Children. Basically, all the big people in the
Everyone.
room.
Yes.
And for the first time, they were not in the room talking; they were in the
It was
room
children.
listening.
Yes.
And that was
Listening to
just-
children.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I remember the kids were excited. It was vibrant. Over 300 children from over 15 countries in Africa. You know how big that is?
That is big. That is huge.
It is huge.
Yeah.
The kids were there. It was amazing.
Yeah.
MC'd by children,
Yes.
program designed by children, program run by children. Organizations in Kenya, you know, the CSOs, the big names, they were all there. They were all so excited to see this happen.
Yeah.
They were so used to like organizing forums for children, inviting them. So to be actually invited by children to be part of a forum, that was something new, not just in Kenya, not just in Africa, but the entire world.
Wow,
That is
amazing.
why even the United Nations Committee on the Rights of the Child, the UNCRC, like
Yeah.
the biggest child rights organ in the world,
Yes.
they were there. The vice chairperson of that particular time, Professor Philip Jaffe, was in the room representing the entire committee. Like everyone was excited. The biggest outcome was children identifying areas of priority for them: education, healthcare, role of AI in education, violence against children,
Yes.
role of technology in Africa, inclusivity in education, breaking barriers on access to education.
Yeah.
And so they decided, you know what, this is not something we want to have one off and then be done.
Yes.
We want this to be an annual thing.
Right.
And so it was planned to happen. That was in 2023.
Yeah.
We planned to have another one in 2024. Because it's not a Kenyan thing,
Yeah.
it's an Africa thing, we
Yeah.
decided, you know what, we'd want to have it in all regions of Africa. It was
Yes.
in East Africa originally, in
Okay.
Nairobi.
Okay.
We decided we want to have it in South Africa next. And that's
Gotcha.
where it was pushed to. So the next summit was supposed to happen in 2024 in South Africa.
Yeah.
Under the theme Seen, Heard, and Engaged in Education. Because education was clearly the number one priority area for African children.
Right.
Unfortunately, because of the elections and everything, it
Yeah.
was pushed to this year.
Yeah.
And so that started. Now, how can you get engaged?
How can we? Also,
can-
is it gonna be in South Africa?
Yes,
Does that
the main
remain?
summit is in South Africa.
When? Where?
In April,
Yes.
4th to 7th in
4th to
Johannesburg.
7th, Johannesburg.
It's being led this time by an organization called the Nelson Mandela Children's Fund in partnership with Mtoto News, of course.
Okay.
But now before that,
Yes.
because it's a regional conversation, but
Yeah.
still, it's important for us to understand that even though African children do face some similar problems, some of them are really contextualized.
Yes.
Like the problems children in Kenya right now are facing are not the same problems children in Sudan
Are facing, that's
children
right.
in Congo, in
Yeah.
Ethiopia, in Rwanda, even in South Africa.
Yeah.
And so we always have a sort of pre-summit. a way to contextualize the dialogue in national ways, to have the children participate. And that's actually what Mtoto News is focusing right now.
Okay.
The Africa Children Summit 2025.
Yes.
Kenya Pre-Summit.
Where is it?
It's happening here in Nairobi, KICD, on the 28th of February to the 1st of March.
Okay.
Both physically and via
Virtually.
virtually as well. Because, we want to have as many people join as possible.
Is it free, the South African one?
Free in terms of every child is welcome to participate.
Okay.
But of course, like the logistical aspects of it, like
You
travel
pay
to
for
South
yourself.
Africa,
Yeah.
that is gonna be a bit complex.
Yeah.
Right now, organizations are more than open to reach out and like say, we want to facilitate children to go to South Africa to be part of this very important conversation.
Yes.
So that is the process that is happening right now.
Okay.
Yeah, even for the pre-summit in itself.
Right,
Because we're bringing children from all 47 counties.
Wow, that is so. Can I be a child? Okay, I'm a child of God. I'm a child of God. Can I just? I think that ship already sailed. It's fine. It's fine. I'll find my ways to come back. Right, but what can people expect at the summit? What kind of thematic areas are you going to be touching on the pre-summit and also in South Africa?
Yeah. Again, the pre-summit is meant to be child-led.
Okay.
Meaning the program, the themes, they're all decided by children.
Yeah.
And the main theme, seen, heard, and engaged in education, was already pre-decided.
Okay.
So we're just going to go with that. But now there are sub-thematic areas in the main theme. Like, for example, what is the role of AI in education, especially in Kenya? What does
that's
GPT
interesting.
do? What does Gemini do? What does DeepSeek do? What is AI even?
Yeah.
And what is its role in, like, education in general for
Yeah.
children?
Yeah.
What does violence against children look like in education? Is it just about physical violence in general? Are we also talking about, capacity violence, like inherently refusing critical knowledge to our children?
Yeah.
Knowledge that they should have when it comes to education. Is our educational system comprehensive enough?
Yeah.
And is that a sort of violence against them as well? We're going to be looking at barriers, breaking down barriers on access to education for children. What are some of these barriers?
Okay.
What do they look like? What is stopping children from getting access to proper and meaningful education in Kenya? Something else is going to be climate change. Climate change is a real big thing right now. And children, you talked about Greta.
Thunberg.
Greta is a big inspiration to like all. In fact, my generation just all looks up to like
All
Greta.
of us, even me.
Even Malala. And
Oh,
in fact,
Malala,
interestingly, they're
yeah.
both sort of linked to climate and education.
Somehow.
Like if you look at it, it's like climate change and education. They're
Yes,
both linked to that.
yes.
And so, the thing is going to be climate change and how that affects education access for children in Kenya. We already talked about violence. So we have like 6 thematic areas. That
Okay.
is, what does child participation look like? What should it look like in education?
Right.
Do children have a role really in like how the education system is shaped, how the curriculum is designed? What is their role in that? Should the Ministry of Education be talking to children and be like, okay, so this is what CBC, this is the goal. How would you guys want to go through this? We want to hear from the kids.
Yes.
What do you guys feel about this?
Right. Yeah.
So
Wow.
those are some of the sub-thematic areas from the main theme.
And I mean, you yourself, you've been through the Sauti Zetu training yourself, and clearly we can see, the fruits of it. I mean, how has it been transforming for you to go through that training? Yeah.
So you see, Sauti Zetu is a training that Mtoto News, I'm pretty sure Catherine covered that.
Yeah.
But people call it a training, I call it a process. Because genuinely, I can say for a fact that there's the brand king before Sauti Zetu and the brand king after Sauti Zetu.
Okay.
I joined Mtoto News when I was in Form 2, going to Form 3. I think it was in 2021, up before, just after COVID, immediately after COVID.
Okay.
I was introduced by a friend of mine who actually just wanted to prove a point. He was not interested in it. He was just like, yeah, I'm better than you.
I'm better than you.
I'm in an organization.
Yes.
And that's how I ended up in Mtoto News.
Okay.
And, the transition from just, hey, it's school, I want to be a doctor, engineer, to, wow, I can actually do something right now.
Right.
I actually have I can influence.
Yeah.
I can teach. I can learn.
Yeah.
I can change the world.
Yeah.
For me, that was everything. Sauti Zetu is, it's a 1-week training, but genuinely I don't know how to describe it. I never know how to describe it. Right now, I'm a trainer in that process still, but I still don't know how to describe it because the change you witness from the beginning to the end is ridiculous.
Wow.
You're like, when you first open and you're taught about online safety, how to take care of yourself, what is digital etiquette, what is digital hygiene, to when you go to identify fake news, and then you're taught about advocacy, child advocacy, what is the role of research in children, what is child-led research, and you realize, oh my God, there's so many opportunities to get engaged.
Yes.
So Sauti Zetu is not really just, it's not like school where you go and live.
Yeah.
It's an opening to an entire world of change.
Gotcha.
You know?
Yeah.
Like immediately after Sauti Zetu, it's a 1 week subscription, but it's an entire life membership.
Okay.
Like after Sauti Zetu, you are part of
your
Mtoto News.
family now.
You
Yeah.
are family. You
Yeah.
can access everyone to Mtoto News. Get, be mentored for 1.5 years, of course, in the apprenticeship program. And yeah, for me, it was amazing. It was life-changing.
Yeah.
It was eye-opening.
Yes. Oh, that's fantastic. Right. As we sign out, because I can see that muda wetu umetupa kisogo. Are children the future? Let's hear it from you and also from you. Yeah.
Yeah. Should I go first?
Yeah, sure.
Children are not the future. Children are here already.
Yeah.
So there's that thing we always told: children are the leaders of
tomorrow.
Not really.
Yeah.
The fact that a friend of mine was actually analyzing this with me, and he was
Yes.
like, we were told children are the leaders of tomorrow in 2010, but those leaders who told us that are still the leaders right now. So when is tomorrow gonna
When
get
is
here?
tomorrow
It's
coming?
about time we become the leaders of today. We take our matters into our own hands. We start having important conversations. Number one, with the children.
Yeah.
For the children right now, together.
Right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And you?
I think he's
Right on
captured
the money.
everything.
Yes.
Children are not the future; they are the now.
They're the now.
We've already started that process.
Yeah.
The children and the youth are actually doing something. They just need a bigger platform that they're already engaging in. They're doing an amazing job, but they need to be engaged. People are assuming they don't know what they're doing. Children know what they're doing. They know what they want, but they need to be engaged.
Yes.
With the right platforms, with the right people, at the right time, on matters affecting them.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely. Right. As we sign out, one last time, the dates of the Africa Child Summit and also the pre-summit and also social media handles. Where can people find you?
All right, sure. The main summit in South Africa is happening from the 4th to the 7th of April this year. But if you want to get engaged in the Kenya Pre-Summit, it's taking place from the 28th of February to the 1st of March. It's actually next week.
Yeah.
You can reach out to Mtoto News through our email, info, just info @mtotonews.com. Or just reach out through any of our social media channels, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, X, TikTok.
Yeah.
Any social media platform, just @Mtoto News. You can always reach out to us, or even visit our website.
Yeah.
Just search Mtoto News on Google. The first answer you get, that's us.
the one. All right. Cool. Brian King, Catherine Karoki, what a pleasure. This was absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for coming through on Power Radio.
Thank you for inviting us.
I am hoping that I can make it to South Africa for the summit.
Yeah.
Yes,
Power of the
you
tongue.
too.
Power of the tongue.
Oh yes, oh yes. I'm on. I'm going. I have to.
Yeah.
Also, it coincides with my birthday, so maybe it's gonna be a great birthday gift for me. But that has been Mr. Brian King and Miss Catherine Karoki from Mtoto News, and we've just been discussing about the role of children, in shaping and carving out a world that is ideal for them, and how can we ensure that they exist in a world that is really centered around their priority areas, and not us telling them what they can be and what they can do, but them actually leading the conversation of what they want to see in their world. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful conversation. All right. Unfortunately, good things always come to an end. It has been my absolute pleasure. Asanteni sana kwa kuja. Follow them on Mtoto News to get up to speed with everything that they are doing, and all the programs that they have lined up for you. As for me, it's a goodbye. But before I'd let you go, at 11 a.m., Miss Caroline Murote comes in with Shiva Sessions from 11 all the way till 1 p.m. She will be discussing some important things that you do not want to miss out on that. And then later on, from 4 p.m., our dynamic duo of DJ CJ alongside Elijah Moores come in with the gift of gab, all things hip hop, from the charts, they ain't like us or whatever it is. They are not like us and whatever it is that Kendrick Lamar has been causing the routes across social media. They'll be talking to us about that as well. So do keep it right here for all of that jazz. Goodbye for now. I come in on Friday, same time, and we shall be talking to Mr. Odongo, and he is going to be talking to us about the role of AI and technology in the digital transformation of Kenya from 8 a.m. all the way till 10 a.m. on Friday. So I do hope to see you then. Goodbye and God bless.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.
This is Hendrix Sam.
Misikatai, unanidai, akiwalahi, ninaogopa sitadinai. I want you to lie, ni vile I'm trying to find good love, baby, baby. I'll be the one for you. I'm trying to be the best version of myself. If you wait for me, I don't need nobody else. I'm trying to find good love, baby, maybe, and I'll be the one for you, baby, maybe, I'll be the one for you.
From sunrise to sunset, all day and night. Power Radio.